if you are not understanding yourself, how you can understand others? So that's how it is. So to give more explanation about what is yoga, meditation, so we have our Kabir. Before I'm giving to Kabir, I'm going to give my session to Gayatri, host of the day today. She will give the brief about Let's Talk, Let's Connect. Gayatri, you can take the session. Thank you.
Okay, okay, Vanita, thanks. Before going to the session, um, I will give some basic intro about Let's Talk, Let's Connect session. Every one of us have inner ability, right? That is skill. To develop the skill and also to learn that this is the perfect platform for everybody. You can develop here, you can give your learnings to other people, you can share your skills to everybody. So it will give some social outreach overall the uh, overall the country. So it is a general platform. You don't some of the people have uh, skills inside because it will be created inside, otherwise it, it is learned from others, right? You want to uh, teach your skills, so this is the perfect platform to teach your skills as well as learn from others. In this session, you have to give your valuable time. That's enough. If you give a valuable time, you will get a benefits, you can get some valuable skills from others, and you also can share your skills to your family as well as friends. After attending this section, please share what you learned. That's important.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Thank you.
Uh,
Participants, please mute yourself so that it will be able to get some more points. So please, participants, mute yourselves. If you have doubts, you can ask or put it in a chat box. Thank you.
Lovely. As I can see, almost all the, not almost, but all the participants have kept themselves on mute, and that's an amazing thing. So sensible participants. Thank you so much, Vanita. Thank you so much, Gayatri, for having me on this platform and allow me to just appreciate the kind of initiative you guys have took. And thanks to Divakar, who got me on the board, and he was like, "How about sharing yoga with people?" With their with this on this platform, and I was so happy to uh, acknowledge and invite. Okay, somebody's calling me. All right. So, and that's how I'm here with you all today. We are, as Vanita and Gayatri discussed, that we are going to talk and understand about yoga. What is yoga like? What does it really mean? We keep hearing about yoga. We keep, you know, uh, we keep hearing about this yoga thing, and also from past 4 to 5 years, they have introduced this International Yoga Day also, and now like the entire world is celebrating yoga. I want to before I get into what all yoga means to me and what all I know about yoga and what all we can just a second. मैं एक सेशन में busy हूँ. Can we talk around 8 o'clock? Is that okay? All right. Sorry for the disturbance. So I'm just quickly going to. So I'm going to quickly talk about what all are we going to do today. So the tentative plan is to discuss a little bit about yoga, the meaning of yoga, the essence of yoga, and then from there we will directly shift into those experimental things. Like we'll get into some practices of breathing practices as well as our body postures practices. And then last half an hour, I guess as Gayatri and Vanita mentioned, that we are going to collect few feedbacks, and we'd love to hear from you as well, that what all did you experience. So I guess keeping 10 to 15 minutes for that. So before that, we'll have a 20 to 25 minutes of relaxation session. We'll completely allow ourselves to relax our body through savasana and through yoga, nidra, and yogic practices. We'll try our level best using this online platform. So let us hope, just commit this 1.5 hour at least. I mean, almost we have spent 10 minutes, and last 10 minutes we'll have for feedback and all. So basically it is going to be 1 hour of yogic practice. I request you all to keep that 1 hour for yourself. And this is an experiential learning. What is experiential learning? You understand it better when you do it. We keep hearing a lot of videos, we keep reading a lot of things through books, here and there in newspapers, and we're not. But when we do it, when we implement it, execute it with our body, with our own selves, that is when we understand the most. This is what experiential learning is called. So this yoga practice, this yoga abhyas is completely experiential. When you do it, when you feel it, then only you know its benefits or not so benefits, or be it anything. Like you do it and you understand what exactly it is and how it can impact your body, how it can benefit your body or your system. All right. So let us get into the general understanding of yoga in our context, in our culture. I'm super glad that India is our Bharat, our India is where the yoga got originated through a lot of saints and sages, even 5,000 years ago. So now, but what the irony is that we completely forgot about it. We stopped practicing about it, or we kind of did not give much importance to it. Only when it got famous in Western part of the world, like in US, in Europe and all, that is when we also start picking it up again. So that's the irony. But it's okay, as long as we are getting into it, as long as we are taking benefits out of it, it's good. All right, so basic meaning of yoga. I cannot see any of you for now. I can see there are a lot of people, but I cannot see any of you. It's okay if you are comfortable. I invite you all to keep your video on only if you are comfortable, and it's okay if it is off. If you don't wish to keep your video on, that is also completely all right with me. All right, so the basic essence of yoga is to connect. In English, the yoga basic essence is to connect. Now, to connect with the what, right? I mean, we talk about connection, but connect with what? So there are basic, I'm going to talk about very vague, very vast. For having a better understanding, we may need to, because the yogic philosophy has a lot of texts, a lot of sutras written by sages, and I may not be able to. First thing, I do not know everything. Secondly, I may not, whatever I have experienced, I may not be able to put everything together in one session in 1 hour, right? So I'll try to share with you as much as I can from my heart, right? With that flow, with whatever flow, we just flow in. So the basic essence is to connect, and to connect with what? The whole idea is to, before connecting with anything else, connect with your own self, right? Now, some of us may think, what does it mean connecting with self? As in, how do we connect? Like maybe we, for example, connecting a charger, we understand, like if you put a charger and put inside the plug, and that's how you connect the charger. Or maybe you put that plug into your phone or your laptop. That's how we connect our phone or that device to the charger. But how do we connect with ourselves, right? And what are the things we are supposed to connect with ourselves? Basically, what is your own self? What is, we keep defining, we keep saying, this is I, this is I, this is me, etc., etc. But what is that I? What is that me? Yoga, basically, the Yoga Sutra, yoga philosophy clearly help all of us to understand what is that I, what is that, we keep defining ourselves, that I, me, myself. What is that? Yoga philosophy helps us to understand that. Now, I'm basically here dividing the connecting with self itself part into three parts. One is to connect with your own body. A lot of times we keep carrying this system, like this is 24/7 with us, right? Not even your partner, not even your friends, your family members, be it anyone, they are not with you 24/7, but this body, this very much body is with you 24/7 since you are here, like in this life, on this planet, right? So connect with your very own body. How much do we feel connected with our body? How much do we know about our body? Do we pay attention to our body as what are the signals our body keeps giving us? That is one. That understand your body's signal, and connect with your body. Why it is important to connect with your body? Because if we don't understand something, if we don't connect with it, we will keep misusing it, or it will keep harming us, and we will never know that, right? In fact, for example, this is an interesting thing which I come across, that stress is also an addiction. And when people get addicted to stress, and then they keep stressing themselves, a lot of times they don't even realize that they are into stress, and they kind of like it also, because it has become that addiction to their life. So it is very much important for us to understand our body, to know our body, what our body is saying. For that, yoga helps us. So how do we connect with our body? Through a lot of yoga asanas, postures, through which we can understand our body. Second is to connect with your mind. Our mind, our whole body is in a universe in itself. And the mind itself is so vast. We keep thinking about a lot of things. Where do we engage mind? How do we keep our mind balanced, in sync? And the last part is to connect with the soul, mind, body, and the soul. Soul is something which cannot be seen, and which cannot be caught, which cannot be described. There are a number of description of soul, right? So, I mean, when somebody dies, what exactly happens? The mind is there, the body part is there, but what is missing? That is basically soul. Right now, in different religions, people have different understanding of soul, and all. We won't get into that detailed description. So the first of us, so there are three steps: connect with yourself, and within connect with yourself, connect with your body, mind, and the soul. These three things are there. Secondly, connect with everybody else. Now, here comes the difficult part for us in general, that how do we connect with everybody else? And when I say everybody else, it includes everyone, all the living beings for sure, like be it plants, be it animals, be it all the human creatures, your neighbors, your family members, your so-called enemies. We keep titling people, okay, this is my group of enemy, this is my group of my friends, this is group of my close friends, this is the group of my so-called friends, or they are just Facebook friends or whatever friends. So these are the categories we keep, we keep putting labels on these many categories. So the whole idea is to connect with everyone without any discrimination. How can we do that? How important is that? And how do we enable ourselves to connect with everybody else is what yoga provides us through a lot of practices, right? And the third one comes connect with the universe, with the higher energy, with God, with supreme power, and ultimately I would call it connect with nature, right? Something which is beyond than you and me, something which is beyond than mind and body, something which is taking care of all of us, something which is nourishing all of us with this fresh oxygen, right? With this fresh food, vegetables, and whatever we are basically is consuming, and what is very much necessary for us to survive, that is being provided by the nature. That is God. People ask, where is God? I cannot see God, this and that. I see my God every day, and that is nature. I can see it, right? Because the God is something which is superpower, which has the capacity to nourish all of us and has been nourishing all of us, right? That is all we need to understand. So these are the three, I have cut short in these three basic points to understand what is yoga and how yoga can be achieved through different practices, and these are the three stages. One is to connect with self, with your mind, body and soul, and then connect with everybody else out there, and then connect with the nature. Ultimately, the whole idea is, if we talk about Advaita philosophy also, Advaita is in non-duality, right? So all these three things are one only, right? There's you and me, just connect with yourself, others, and the universe or the nature or the God. All these three things are one only, right? But when these three things are not one, if when there is imbalance, that is where we need yoga. These things are supposed to be one only, right? Aham Brahmasmi. We say that you are the God. The God resides within you. God is nowhere out there, but it is very much there. And how beautifully we are interlinked with each other. How our actions affect each other's lives in some or the other ways, right? As this is a clear example of this COVID era, where each and every one of us are, how beautifully we are interlinked is, I mean, through this situation we can understand, right, that how an action of an individual can affect us directly or indirectly in a positive way or the negative way. All right. So the whole idea is, when there is an imbalance between all these three things, that is where we need to that is where we realize the need of yoga, and we need to bring the balance, and that's what we are supposed to do, I guess. And let us get into the practices. Okay, so I have been talking a lot, and as I cannot see anybody else talking, or I cannot see anybody else's facial expressions also, let me assume that we are going good. Let me assume that you are able to hear my voice. And also, if there is any disturbance in terms of technical glitch, if you are not able to hear my voice, somebody please just unmute and speak it loud out, so that I can understand that I'm talking, and whatever I'm talking, it is reaching out to you. And also, you can, if there are any queries also, you can just put it down on the chat box, as Vanita and Gayatri has mentioned. All right, so now, without wasting much time, we will clearly get into our practices. As I said, if you practice it, if you do it, only then you'll be able to understand it. You may like it or you may not like it, that's a different thing altogether, but the whole idea is to practice it for now, right? All right, so now what we are doing is, we simply sit down in Sukhasana. The start, how do we start? Basically, we sit down in Sukhasana. Find a mat or a chattai or a dari or anything. Make yourself comfortable. Find a space for your body, for yourself. We'll talk a lot about our body, ourself, our mind, because that is what we are going to take care of through these sessions, through these practices. There we go. Find yourself a comfortable position. If you are not able to sit on the floor with your legs crossed, that's completely all right. What you can do is, you can extend your legs on your front and place your hands by your side, drop your toes, and simply you can sit down on the floor in this way also. But if you're not able to even sit down on the floor itself, what you can do is, you can sit down on a mat, on a sofa, on a couch, on the bed, on a chair, wherever you feel comfortable sitting. The whole idea is to keep our spine straight, because initial 10 minutes we'll do the grounding process, we'll do the mindfulness process, because our mind keeps wandering. It keeps wandering. It keeps thinking about a lot of things. As I have been talking, as we are meeting, mostly we are meeting for the first time. So maybe there's a whole lot of things. Who's this guy, Kabir? What is this guy talking? Is this guy making any sense? Or why is this guy talking so much? Etc. 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 So your mind may have lot of questions. So it has the habit of wandering or going here and there a lot. So now the whole idea of these practices is to slow it down, calm it down, so that we can pay attention to our body, to ourselves, right? Because that is where we say that instead of going outwards, go inwards. Now we are embarking on that journey of going inwards. We'll try to, initial 10 minutes, we'll do the mindfulness practice. What we do is, we sit down either on the floor or on the chair. Second preference. Third preference, on the bed with your back straight, with the back support. You can also take the support of a pillar or a wall if you are if your back is hurting too much, if you're not habitual of sitting on the floor or with your back straight, you can take a back rest, but don't keep your head on the wall, or don't head rest, just back rest you can. Only if your back is hurting, only if your back requires that support. All right. These are the three things. And lastly, you can sit on a couch and maybe just see that. If you're not able to, if you don't wish to experience it, if you don't wish to practice it, you can maybe just lie down and even see what I'm talking and what I'm sharing. That will also help you, but a little bit, if you practice it, it will be more helpful and beneficial for you, I'm sure. All right. So basically we sit down. Also, if you have a cushion next to you, any cushion, a thick cushion preferably, and if you have it, what you can do is gently put it underneath your hips. We put a cushion underneath your hips, and you can see the impact, guys. Right away, you can understand that, you know, what difference your body feels as soon as you put a cushion underneath your hips. Your lower back will receive that support. You will be able to sit with your back straight comfortably. To an extent. All right. In that case, what we can do is now gently settle down your lower body. Watch your lower body, watch your legs, watch your knees, watch your thighs. All right. Lower down, settle down, look at your lower body. Allow your lower body to settle down. Then shift your focus on your upper body. Watch your main body, watch your arms. Place your hands comfortably with your fingers open, right? Place them on your knees. Gently keep them on your knees. Cover your knees gently. The whole idea is to keep your hands relaxed and not to stiff. No stiffness at all. Just keep your upper body relaxed with your back straight. Hand rest on your thighs, on your knees. All right. Try keeping your chest slightly open so that we can breathe nicely, so that our lungs get that space to breathe in and breathe out. So don't yourself feel suffocating, and keep your chest little bit wide open. All right. You can use the cushion, and you can also don't use the cushion. The choice is completely up to you. Now what we do is, here we gently close our eyes. हम अपनी आंखों को बंद करते हैं. Gently close your eyes. Keep your whole body free, light, loose, and gently close your eyes. And as soon as you close your eyes, bring your whole focus, your awareness on your body. Just watch yourself sitting in this position with your eyes closed. Scan your body, scan yourself, visualize yourself with your eyes closed. That how are you sitting? Where are your legs? How have you kept your hands? Where is your chest? Where is your head? How is your spine located? Feel your body basically. With your eyes closed, gently watch yourself sitting in this position. And now shift your focus, your awareness on the body parts which are in contact with the floor or with the bed, sofa, chair, wherever you may be sitting. Feel your body and feel your body's contact. That how have you placed your hands on your legs, on your knees, on your thighs, on your lower body. Now feel that touch. We are building our senses around our body. We are building our awareness around our sensory systems. Now we are simply paying attention to the body parts which are in contact with the floor. Feel your base basically. Now, how comfortable that touch is what you need to understand, is what you need to try to figure out, is what you need to feel. Feel the floor, feel the base, feel your body. And if you're finding the whole process difficult, okay, all right, acknowledge it. That yes, I am facing difficulties to do this simple task, and that's completely all right. But you can always try again to focus on your body. Now here I'm gonna invite you all to shift your focus on your breath. Do nothing else, just watch yourselves breathing. Now as I say this, you don't need to alter your breath. You don't need to change the flow of your breath. You don't actually need to breathe in and breathe out. It is happening automatically, naturally, organically. We breathe in and breathe out 24/7, guys. It's just that we hardly pay attention to our breath. We hardly pay attention that we are breathing in and breathing out. For now, what we are doing is we are simply watching ourselves breathing. We are witnessing our breath, nothing else. Do not try to change your breath. Do not alter your breathing. Keep your face relaxed. Keep your body relaxed. Keep your arms relaxed. Keep your back relaxed. And simply watch yourselves breathing in and breathing out. Watch every single breath coming in and going out for a while. And here we go for changing the flow of our breath. What we do is we consciously inhale now. We take some efforts to inhale and exhale, yet we continue staying with our breath. Your focus remains on your breath. But here we are altering our breath. We are changing our breath. Basically, we are allowing ourselves to inhale consciously, little extra than usual. And exhale normally. Try inhaling smoothly. Once again. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We do it for several times. Continue inhaling and exhaling. How much do we inhale and exhale? As smoothly as you can, as deeply as you can. You can gently deepen your breath. You can increase the duration of your inhalation and exhalation. You can gently increase the depth and width of your breath. As smoothly as you can. You don't need to put lots of efforts. Keep it smooth, keep it gentle, keep it calming. And as you breathe in and breathe out, you are continuously observing every single breath, which is becoming part of you and separating from you. As your breath goes inside your body, feel it inside your body. Feel that expansion on your chest into your lungs as you breathe in. And as you exhale, closely observe it. We are basically building a better relationship with our body, with our own selves by doing this. If you are practicing it as I am instructing, I'm sure the process of grounding has been happening with you. You are able to bring yourselves back in present with your body on your breath. Your mind is here, your body is here, your mind and your body are in sync with each other. Inhale and exhale. We are doing nothing else, nothing tough, nothing tricky. Simple and smooth. Very simple, very smooth, yet very beneficial activity to bring ourselves back into present. Next time as you inhale, you may exhale through your nostrils and your mouth, both. We are continuously breathing in and breathing out. We only breathe in through our nostrils, but when it comes to exhalation, we can use our mouth and nostrils both. We are normally, smoothly, deeply breathing in and breathing out. We are sitting in Sukhasana in a comfortable position with our eyes closed, and our entire awareness, our focus is on our breath, and we are consciously breathing in, breathing out, and observing the whole process constantly. Get back to normal breathing. Resume your normal breath. Remove this control from your breathing. Let your breath come in and go out at its own. You don't need to breathe in and breathe out now. It will happen automatically, naturally. Resume the normal breath. Yet, stay with your breath. Continue observing your normal breath. Now, quickly scan your body, observe your body. Observe the comforts and discomforts of your body. Like what are the body parts which are feeling comfortable, or see if there are body parts which are feeling not so comfortable. Observe that in your body. Here we observe the overall state of our body. Overall state of your body, and then overall state of your mind as well. Observe it. Just roughly scan it, observe it. That how's your body feeling? What is the state of your body right now? Then observe your mind. How's your mind responding? How many thoughts you're having in your mind? How your body is in sync with your mind? Or if there is no sync at all, try understand. Try just scan it quickly. Observe the overall being of your state of your being. Overall situation of your own cells at present. Now we have kept our eyes closed only till now. Now what we do is we bring our hands together in Namaste Mudra. Keep your eyes closed only. I'll let you know when to open and how to open. There is a procedure. It would be good if you follow the entire procedure. Join your hands together in Namaste Mudra. As you join your hands, feel your palms, feel that contact of your hands against each other. Gently start rubbing your palms. Rub your palms. Gently put your hands on your face. Gently massage your face. Keep your eyes closed only. Gently put your hands, put your palms on your face. Gently massage your face. Feel your face. Touch your face. Nicely. Cover your eyes, cup your eyes. Use your hands and completely cup your eyes. Cover your eyes. And as you cover your eyes, gently look down towards the floor. Drop your head, look down towards the floor. And here we start opening our eyes very slowly. Without rushing at all, gently open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, blink your eyes nicely. Blink your eyes for several times, for probably 8 to 10 times. And as you blink your eyes, allow your eyes to open completely and start removing your hands from the bottom. Start removing your hands. And here we bring ourselves back into the space. All right. If you are sitting on a cushion, you may remove the cushion. Just extend your legs on your front. Extend your legs on your front. Even if you are sitting on the bed, you can just extend your legs on the front. Place your hands by the neck on your back and start hitting your legs nicely on the floor. One knee is coming up alternatively. So basically, I'm going to quickly explain what exactly we did. I again request you all to continue being with yourself, continue staying with yourselves, continue practicing and try observing throughout the whole process. Continue observing how is your body responding as to whatever you are doing, be it a breathing practice, be it a posture, be it anything. Try to continuously observing how your body responds to that, how your body reacts to that. Now, as I can feel, as we do this grounding process, we feel in present, we feel very much here and now as compared to 20 minutes back. Our mind was somewhere else, our body was still here but not so here. Now we know where is our lower body, where is our upper body, and how is our body feeling. A lot of times we keep ignoring how our body is feeling. Together, please just hit your legs on the floor nicely. It's good if the surface is hard so that our body. So now what we are doing is we are basically ensuring proper oxygenated blood supply in our lower body, because we were sitting in a cross-legged position. In that case, the blood supply gets disrupted. In that case, now what we are doing is we are ensuring that proper oxygenated blood supply in our lower body. All right, now hit your toes as well. So now I'm going to quickly explain that what exactly we did during the grounding process, and especially the way we opened our eyes was, some of you may find it a bit different, that why did we look down and then we slowly opened our eyes, or we blinked our eyes and all. Because if we keep our eyes closed for a good period of time, for today, for example, we kept our eyes closed for almost 15 minutes, right? So what 15 to 20 minutes, in fact. So we should not open our eyes immediately. That is one. We should minimize the exposure of light coming from outside so that our eyes don't feel hurt. If you can clearly feel it, like for example, if in the morning, if we are sleeping for 6-10 hours and if somebody just pulls away the curtain and the direct sunlight hit on our face, or even if somebody enters our room and switch on the light and we feel irritated, oh my God, why is somebody doing this to me? Mostly our moms does that to us, right? So the whole idea is our eyes should open in a process, in a gradual process. So generally it has been observed that light comes from outside. So we look down so that our eyes don't get exposed to the lights directly is the region we gently cover our eyes nicely, we look down, we slowly open our eyes, we blink our eyes so that our eyes adjust with it, and then we remove our hands very slowly. That is the ideal way of taking care of your eyes. That is to that extent we get down in yogic practices where we take care of each and every part of our body by understanding that what care does that part of our body deserves, requires, and what is the procedure so that we ensure that. All right, now what we do is bend our right leg, put it on our left thigh. We are going to do very gentle, very smooth, easy to remember practices which anybody can do, and you are going to understand, feel, realize the impact on your body and how beneficial these practices are. Gently put your right leg on your left thigh, not so away, not on your side thigh. Just put it up here. And then, and also close to knee. Don't bring it next to your navel or next to your genital areas. Put it not on the top of your knee, next to your knee, on your thigh. And here what we do is, we gently push our knee down and then pull it up. Now you'll feel the stretch. Do it very gently, guys. I again invite you all, I request you all to do it as smoothly, as gently as you can. Don't force your body, because I'm not sure, I'm meeting you all for the first time per se. So I'm not sure that how you're practicing, what is your understanding of, how much is your body allowing you to do it, at what level you are, how is your body responding to what we are doing. So stay close to your body, keep listening to your body, be kind and nice to your body as you practice. So gently push your knee down and up. So what is basically happening as I do this, this joint of our right leg, our hip muscles of our right leg, thigh muscles are being stretched. You can clearly feel it if you closely pay attention to it. Softly do it. We keep, a lot of times in our home chorus, we have to stand a lot, we have to walk a lot at times, and we end up holding, carrying that congestion in our body parts, in our body joints. By doing this, we are just releasing that unnecessary congestion. Now bring it next to your chest and hold it. Keep your right knee, use your hands to hold it closely. Keep it there for a while. Try keeping your back straight as smoothly as you can. Try keeping your face smiling. Don't tell your body or don't torture your body. And if you're not torturing your body, I guess in that case, there should be a lovely smile on your pretty face. And here we drop it. Now what we do is, we lift our leg and hold it like a baby. Wow. Hold it like a baby nicely. So you can hold in whichever way you wish to. You can just interlock your fingers, clasp your fingers and hold it. Or you can simply hold it like this also, like you're holding your knee and your foot, whichever way your body is allowing you to. Try holding it like a baby if you're able to do it. And then start rocking the baby. Take care of this baby. All right, from left to right. The movement should be very gentle. Now feel this joint. Feel your entire pelvic area. Observe it closely. Observe your body. Feel that movement in your lower body, especially. Your upper body is mostly stable. There is not much movement in your upper body. All right. Now try bringing your leg closer to your chest. Six, 7:30. पानी का bottle ले पानी water bottle ले. Try holding it closer to your chest. Hold your baby closer to your chest, as close as you can. You can change the position of your hands. You just hug your baby. And feel a stretch. Now gently put it down. Gently put it down. Without collapsing. Do not collapse and be gentle and put it down. All right. Shift your body from left side to right side. Massage your lower body, your hips, your thighs. All right. Now bend your left leg, left knee, put it on your right thigh. As you put it on your right thigh, we do the same treatment with our left leg as well. All right. Push and pull. Be kind and gentle. Push and pull. Push and pull. I just hope that my instructions are easy to follow and you are able to hear me and you are able to follow what we are doing. Gentle pushing and pulling. And now we keep it next to our chest for a while. Bring your knee next to your chest. Keep it holding. Feel the stretch. That good stretch. That soft stretch. And lovely. Drop it nicely. Hold your left leg like a baby. We have another baby. Wow, what a good news. We have two babies with us. Okay, now what we do is we nicely hold it. And then we start moving it from one side to the other. Be very gentle, be very kind as you do the movement. You can also pay close attention to your baby. Like you can also talk to your baby. Keep it light, keep it smooth, keep it fun way. It should not be torturing to your body. All right, nicely. Try bringing your baby closer to your chest. Keep it holding. And then gently put your baby on the floor. Relax your legs. Put your legs on the floor. Relax your legs. Shift your body weight from one side to the other. From one side to the other. All right. Now here what we do is we bend our knees. We try bringing our feet together. Join your feet. As you join your feet, shift your body weight from one side to the other. So that you adjust your base. And try bringing your heels closer to your hips, your perineum area. It's okay, you don't need to keep it totally close. If you are not able to do it, it's okay if your heels are away. Gently find a comfortable base. Make sure that your hips are comfortably placed on the floor. Only then your base is settled. You hold your toes, keep your back straight, and then introduce movement in your legs. Your knees come up and go down, up and down. Keep it smooth and gentle. Keep the movement very gentle, very smooth. Now you can feel the gentle stretch in your inner thighs, on your hip muscles are being engaged. Keep paying attention to the body parts which are actively engaged in this process. You can also close your eyes and feel this movement. Do this with complete feel. All right. Now what we do is we push our legs gently away from our body. Still keep your feet together. Keep your feet together and join. Put your hands nicely on your feet. You can just shift your body from one side to the other. Keep your elbows straight. Keep your back straight. Now we'll go for forward bend. I'm going for a quick demonstration. What we'll do is we'll bend our elbows, we'll go down and come up. How much you need to go down? There's no fixed criteria. Go down as much as your body is allowing you to. If you're able to go down this much, this is cool. If you're able to go down completely, you can go down and then just come up. So you'll do this movement. We go down and come up. You may also start now if you're clear about it. Go down and come up. Go down and come up. Do it 6 to 8 times. Go down and come up as smoothly as you can go down on your front. Go and come back. All right, feel that stretch in your back, in your lower body as you go down and come up. Keep feeling your body. Now, next time when you go down, stay down there. Stay down there as long as you can, comfortably. Feel the stretch. Keep listening to your body as to how your body is responding to what you're doing. Gently come up, gently come up. You may close your eyes also, or you may keep your eyes open, up to you. Push your legs away from your body. Put your hands on the floor at your back. Adjust your body, free your body, and with your eyes closed. Now just feel your body, feel the blood flowing in your body differently. Feel the sensations and vibrations in your body parts. Are you able to feel the blood traveling in your body? Especially your forehead area, your top of your head area, your face. Gently open your eyes and come back. Gently open your eyes and come back. Those who are able to sit in Sukhasana, please bring yourselves in Sukhasana. Keep your back straight. Those who do not feel comfortable sitting in Sukhasana can continue sitting in a relaxed position with legs apart and toes away and hands on the floor. Otherwise, you can always bring yourselves back into Sukhasana. Now what we'll do is we'll take care of our shoulders, or the congestion on our shoulders in our neck, which we keep carrying unnecessarily. So before that, we'll pay attention to our face, our entire face. Now what we'll do is we'll do the face stretching of facial muscles. We'll make weird faces. We'll try to engage each and every muscle of our face, right from our forehead, eyebrows, our cheeks, our nose, our ears, our chin. All right, try engaging every part of your facial muscle. Try to stretch it and then continue and then feel the stretch sensation on your face. There we go. You may keep your eyes open or closed, completely up to you. Stretch your face, make weird faces. Try engaging your lips, your chin, your cheeks, your nose, your eyebrows, your eyes, your ears, your forehead. All right, now rub your palms nicely, quickly. And then gently massage your face. Use little pressure. Use little extra pressure to massage your face nicely. Use the tip of your fingers and your palms to nicely activate your facial muscles. All the body cells, all the facial cells which are not being used or not so activated, we are activating them. And come back. Now, if you closely pay attention, you're feeling a lot of sensations on your face, a lot of facial cells which were not so active before. We have simply engaged them, right? So just gentle 5 seconds of action can simply bring relaxation on our face. There are a lot of times when it comes to stress, when there is something difficulty going on in our life, what we do is we keep holding. For example, if we are angry, if we are stressed, if we are feeling anxious, if we are feeling not so comfortable, what we do is we keep carrying, keep holding, congesting that whole stress on our face, mostly on our eyebrows, on our forehead, on our cheeks, and we're not. So what basically this simple 5 seconds magic trick is just stretch it, rub your palms, nicely massage it, and you feel relieved for sure. Like a simple trick which we can do nicely. All right. Now what we do is we engage our neck. I'm going to quickly demonstrate as to how we are going to do. We'll simply, I'm going for a quick demonstration, then we'll do it together so that we don't do wrong. What we do is we sit straight in comfortable position, and demonstration, we look down. You need to just drop your head completely free your head. So basically what will happen is जो gravitational forces will do their work, do its job, and you'll feel a gentle stretching on your neck in your cervical area. And on second posture, what we'll be doing is we'll gently look up. We'll feel squeeze in our cervical area and gentle stretch on our throat, right? And then we'll change, we'll drop our head on our left, then back to center, then on our right, then to center, then we look on our left, back to center, then we look on our right, and we come back. And then lastly, we'll do rotation as well. We'll do rotation clockwise and anti-clockwise. This is also 10 to 30 seconds of movement which we are gonna do. And this is also beneficial for our neck, for our cervical, for our shoulder congestion. All right, as you are ready, gently drop your head on your front. You may keep your eyes closed for better experience. Gently drop your head on your front. Keep your head completely free, light and loose. Don't try to hold it. Don't try to control your head. Just drop it. Just release it. And then feel that stretch on your cervical area, on your neck. Gently look up. Back to the center. Now look upside. Drop your head on your back. And as you look up, if your mouth opens up, let it open. As you look up, keep your head upside, your mouth open, and back to the center. Now gently drop your head on your left. Keep your head free, light and loose, and feel the squeeze on the side of your neck. Back to the center. Now drop your head on your right. Feel the squeeze on your right side and the stretch on your left side of your neck. Back to the center. Now look on your left. Back to the center. Now look on your right. And get back to the center. Lovely, great. Now we do the rotation. Drop your head on any side and start rotating on any side. Try going very slow and smooth. Don't rush. I know a lot of us are habitual to go fast and quick and rush. Please be smooth, kind and gentle with your practice. Go as slow, as smooth as you can, as easy as you can. And then change the direction. Change the direction of your rotation, neck rotation.
அர்ஜுன் போயிட்டானா? நமக்கு சப்போர்ட்டுக்கு ஆள் இருக்காரு.
Come back and bring yourself back. AHB, can you please mute yourself because we can hear some of your conversations. Yeah, okay, great. All right. So now I feel your neck is also relaxed. Now what we do is we quickly just shake our hands. So if there is any congestion in our arms, in our shoulders, we just shake it off. While sitting also, we don't need to do lot of things to relax our body. Simple tricks, simple awareness and simple movements. Gently from left to right, you can just start moving your hands. All right, shake your hands nicely. And just rotate your hands nicely so that if there is any congestion on your shoulders, you'll surely feel relaxed and relieved. And then the other way around as well. All right. Now I'm going to quickly demonstrate as to how to relax our back, because we have been sitting from quite some time. And in general, a lot of us face a lot of issues related to our back, be it lower back or cervical area or lumbar region or thoracic region. In overall, our entire spine, we need to take care of our spine nicely and comfortably. So I'm going for a quick demonstration as to what we will be doing so that it will be easy for you to follow that. My demonstration won't take more than 50 to 60 seconds per 1 minute roughly. And then all of us will do. I'm also going to demonstrate along with that how we'll be getting into Savasana. So when it comes to Savasana, we'll completely lie down on our back with our body in a certain position, in a completely relaxed position with our eyes closed. So when I'll be giving instructions, you won't be able to see me because you need to keep your eyes closed. So for that, I'm going to quickly tell you how we'll be going into Savasana and what will be the procedure of coming back into Sukhasana. How to go and how to come back. These are the two procedures I'm going to quickly demonstrate. So please closely observe it, and then all of us will do it together. And these are the next 10 to 15 minutes are gonna be completely relaxing for your whole body. Trust me, if you do it wholeheartedly, if you closely observe it, you'll be able to understand its impact. And you can do it any time of the day. Whenever your body feels, you can just let that uneasiness go and relax your body by simply doing this 15 to 20 minutes. You can do it for 5 minutes also. This Yoga Nidra, this Savasana relaxation can be really beneficial to you all. All right, so I'm going for a quick demonstration. Let me just fix the camera for a while, and there we go. So what we'll do is, to start with, we'll simply sit down with our knees bent. We'll try holding our knees using your hands, and then we'll start rolling on our back. This is a demonstration. You don't need to do it right away. You just need to observe me for a minute or so, and then all of us will do it together. This is how you need to just roll on your back. This is gonna relax your spine for sure. For those of you who will not be able to go and sit back like this, not an issue. If your body does not allow you to do this much, you can simply do this half rotation. You just need to bring your knees closer and push them away. Bring your knees closer and push them away. It will help you to bring that momentum. If your neck feels uncomfortable, you can put your head on the floor and gently do this. That is it. This will also do. If you're not able to do this much, you can simply put your head on the floor and do this. Okay, so this is how we do rolling on our back. And lastly, all of us take this position on our back and we'll simply drop our body, lower body on our left and on our right. This is what we will be doing. So what we do is we simply roll on our back and we drop our body on our left and on our right. This is what we'll be doing. And then what we do is we bring our knees closer to our chest and release. Closer to our chest and release. Closer to our chest and release. We'll do this for a while and then we'll spread our knees, join our feet and try folding our feet together. I hope you're able to see me from there. I can have this view as well where you what all you need to do is just knees apart and join your feet and try holding your feet using your hands. If you're not able to hold your feet, it's okay. You can hold from shin bone, you can hold your pajama, you can hold your knees. Just try staying there. All right. And we'll stare for a while with our eyes closed. And then lastly, slowly we'll put our legs on the floor with our knees bent, with our feet together. Then we'll put our hands on the floor. Hands away from body, not close to your body, not too far, not too close. Somewhere midway. And then keep your palms towards the sky. And that is where we'll be just releasing our legs. We'll adjust our body on the floor. Legs apart. There will be distance between our legs. We'll keep our toes outside and free and loose. We'll adjust our back. We'll adjust our body. And here we'll close our eyes gently. So what we'll do is we'll close our eyes and I will let you know what to do next during the instruction. How to come back, I'm going to demonstrate now. So we'll basically introduce movement in our fingers, in our toes. We'll introduce movement in our whole body. We'll stretch our body completely nicely. Whichever part of our body you feel like stretching, we'll stretch. Then we'll turn on any side. We'll turn on any side. We put our one hand under our head to use it as a pillow. Another hand, either we put it on our thigh or on the floor in front of our chest. Our eyes are closed throughout this process. So here we support our body and we will sit back in Sukhasana gently with our eyes closed, completely with our whole body in a relaxed state. This is where we'll be sitting. And then lastly, we'll join our hands, rub our palms. Again, the same procedure which we did in the beginning will come back. I hope the whole procedure of how to get into Savasana and how to come out of it is clear, because we do not have much time and I'm not sure how much you are able to receive, because since we are meeting for the first time, as I said. So now we quickly get into the procedure. I'm sure you're all set. Sit down nicely, comfortably, and start rolling on your back as per your body allows. And slow down and stay there on the back. Stay there on your back. Drop your lower body on your left and on your right. Keep holding your legs. Keep your knees bent. Drop your lower body on your left and on your right. Now you'll see that you're massaging your back, your complete back area. Your hips are receiving that relaxation. All right. Now what we do is we bring our knees closer to our chest and release. Bring your knees closer to your chest and release. Bring your knees closer to your chest and release. How much to bring in, Bring closer to our chest as much as you can comfortably. Squeeze and release. Pull and release. Pull and release. Now what we do is, we gently, knees apart, feet together, hold your legs. Knees apart, feet together, hold your legs. Adjust your body and stay here for a while. Now this is very beneficial for everyone, especially for women, especially during their period times. Also, it is very beneficial for smooth pregnancy. This is very beneficial for our entire reproductive organs, our abdominal area as well. It allows to release the congestion from our hips, from our pelvic area, from our reproductive organs, from our abdominal area. So just try staying here for a while. And then we gently drop our legs on the floor. Gently put your legs on the floor. Put your hands on the floor, hands away from your body, palms facing towards the sky. And release your legs. Release your legs. Extend your legs. Adjust your whole body, upper body, or lower body. Adjust on the floor. Keep your legs apart. Distance between both of your legs. Toes outside. Completely free your legs. Completely free your hips. Adjust your back. Adjust your shoulders. Adjust your hand. Ultimately, adjust your head. And close your eyes. Now you need to simply focus on my instructions. You need to do nothing else but simply observe on my instructions. You are completely down on the floor. Your back is in contact with the floor. Your legs are in contact with the floor. Your hands, your shoulders are in contact with the floor. And back of your head is in contact with the floor. You have kept your eyes closed. And you have let your whole body be free, light and loose. Completely free your body. Keep your body light and relaxed. Feel your body with your eyes closed. Let your whole body build a connection with the floor. Surrender your whole body. As you are surrendering your body in the lap of Mother Nature Earth, to the ground, which has been holding all of us with that support, with that care, with that confidence. Keep your body free, light, loose, with your eyes closed, letting your whole body free and loose, like a dead body. Never holds any part of its body back. Keep your muscles, joints, each and every organ, each and every part of your body free and loose. Observe your breath, observe your body. Your body is melting, spreading like honey, like butter on the floor. It is simply being melted, simply being spread on the floor. Let it loose, let it spread. You are not responsible for anything for a while. Removing the control, removing the charge from everything else and just letting your body be completely free, light and loose on the floor. Observe your body receiving this relaxation. Tell yourself in your mind, we are setting the intention for this relaxation process. I love my body and I allow my body to relax completely. Speak this in your mind. Tell this thing, repeat this thing in your mind, that I love my body and I allow my body to relax completely. I love my body and I allow my body to relax completely. And you will realize that not just your body, but your whole mind is also receiving that relaxation. Your whole body and the mind are feeling completely light and relaxed. Your whole body and the mind are completely feeling relaxed. Stay with your body, stay with your breath, and pay attention to all the sounds you can hear. Let this music be the part of your body, be the part of your mind, be the part of your system, be the part of your life. Let it get inside your body, let it heal your body, let it relax your body. With your eyes closed, completely stay on the floor in Savasana and allow your body to relax. Gently, we bring our awareness back to our body. Watch yourself in this state. Feel this complete state of bliss. Feel this music still inside your body. It has entered your body. It has entered your system. Now it is traveling inside your body, inside your life. Feel it inside your body. Feel its presence in your life and feel its impact on your life as to whatever we consume from outside, how it impacts our system, our life, is what we are trying to understand, is what we are trying to feel at present. And now, keep your eyes closed only. What we do is we start moving our fingertips, our toes, and spread the gentle movement in your body. Allow your whole body to receive that stretch. Whichever way you feel like stretching your hands, your legs, your back, just with your eyes closed only, smoothly stretch your body. And then you may turn on any side. Turn on any one side. Use your hands and your legs nicely to support your body. And sit back in Sukhasana with your eyes closed only. Try keeping your eyes closed throughout the whole process so that you don't lose the connection with yourself, so that you continue staying with your body, continue staying with your mind. As you sit back in Sukhasana with your eyes closed, comfortably, feel your body, feel your mind. As we did the scanning in the beginning of the session, I'm sure you did observe back then, and I'm sure you are able to observe now the differences your body has been experiencing. State of your body, state of your mind, state of comfort and discomfort of your mind, of your body. Try observing it through feeling closely. You are lovingly, softly sitting in Sukhasana with a happy heart. Now the essence of yoga, let us all feel that we are connected with our very own body, with our very own house, with our very own body, with our very own mind, completely in sync, together, attached and aware. Feel that loving connection with your own body, with your own self. And also feel this connection with each other that we are sharing, we are practicing together in a group. We are sitting at different places and joining together and experiencing this togetherness. Feel the connection with everyone around you and with people who are sharing this yoga abhyas. And connect with everybody else out there. Feel that connection. And lovingly feel the connect with the nature, with the supreme power, with the God, whichever universal power, energy you believe in. Just say thanks to yourself, to everybody else, and to the God, to the nature, for nourishing us, for taking care of us, for living, for giving this opportunity to experience this life beautifully. As we feel this, let us all feel grateful for having this lovely evening, for having this lovely togetherness. Here we bring our hands together in Namaste Mudra. And as soon as we join our hands, we feel the contact of our hands. Namaskar Mudra, Namaste Mudra. Join your hands. Our eyes are still closed. Our heart feels happy. Have a lovely smile on your face. If you deserve a lovely smile, have it on your face. With the sense of togetherness, with the sense of connection, with the sense of yoga, we rub our palms nicely. We place our hands on our face. We gently massage our face. Gently massage your face. Cover your eyes nicely. Cup your eyes, cover your eyes. Drop your head on your front, look down. And slowly open your eyes and blink your eyes several times while your eyes are still being covered with your hands. And here, when our eyes adjust, we gently start removing our hands from the bottom. And we bring ourselves into the space and we greet to everyone in the house. Lastly, we give ourselves a nice, cute hug. Hug yourself. And tell yourself that I love myself. All right, from both the sides. Hug yourself. A nice warm hug to your own self. Connect with your body nicely. Keep loving this body of yours always. And tell yourself that I love myself. All right. Thank you so much for joining. We are done with the session today. Now I hand over it to the team AHP and Gayatri and whosoever is there to take it ahead. And I would really love to hear from you. If you feel like sharing anything, you're most welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kabir sir. It's a wonderful section because you said how one should take care every single part of the body, and also how to connect with nature, and how to take care of our body and mind as well as soul. It's wonderful section today. Participants, if you have any doubt or queries or feedback, you can unmute yourself and say to it. Thank you.
Anybody can share anything. You are free to speak your heart out. And yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Can you hear
please
me?
unmute.
Yes, please unmute yourself before you speak anything or share anything.
Kabir sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Vijaya Shanti ji.
Yes. So this was a really wonderful session, actually. And that too, when we did stitches in a phase, isn't it? That was really marvelous. I never experienced like this before. Actually, when you asked to smile before that, it was like I am smiling artificially. I was calm, but I was not able to smile. It didn't come me naturally. But after doing the face stretch, automatically my lips were smiling. I was able to feel that. Really, it was very good, and each and every part of the body felt very relaxed, and it was really excellent for me. Thank you so much, sir.
Wow. I'm so glad, I'm so grateful to hear that. And I'm so happy that I could reach out to you and this relaxation could reach out to you and you could benefit out of it. Thank you so much, Vijay Shantiji, for sharing and for joining us. Lovely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Is there anybody else who would like to share anything? Thoughts during meditation. Okay, I can see some people writing in chat box as well. Kabir sir, it was very genuine session. I started listening more than before. Thank you once again. Thank you so much, Manjuji. Wonderful session. Thanks a lot. You're lovely. Thank you. Thank you. And Sumita ji, how to focus and refrain from thoughts during meditation? Lovely question. So on meditation, is Shunita Ji here? I cannot see her. Okay, she's here. So there can be hundreds and hundreds of uh, techniques to focus, to stay focused while meditating. And why am I saying there can be multiple practices? There can be multiple tools and techniques, because all of us, each one of us are unique. Or whatever we have consumed from outside, what exactly are we? For example, we eat an apple. As long as it is out there, it is an apple. Once we eat it, it becomes part of you. So our whole body is what it is. We have accumulated a lot of things from outside, right? Similarly, when it comes to our mind also, we have done conditioning to our mind in a certain way. The way we train our mind, the way we have, customized our mind, it is completely unique to each and every one of us. Each and every one of us, the way we look at things, the way we look at life, the way we process things is completely different and unique. Is the reason we call that each and every one of us are unique, right? So having said that, the whole idea is that which trick, there can be 100 tricks, and which trick can be beneficial for you to meditate and to stay focused is what you need to figure out by practicing those different tools and techniques, right? So for some people, chanting, mantra chanting, for example, can be really beneficial. I have come across a lot of people. I mean, so in Bombay, when I was in Bombay, right now I'm in Rajasthan. When I was in Bombay, I used to take 1-to-1 session and group sessions, like not online, but in person. So in that case, I came across a lot of people who would say, okay, I'm able to focus on my body, I'm able to focus on my mind, I'm able to meditate when I completely focus on my breath, right? And some people would say that when I do chanting, I am able to be more focused and in present. So there can be different tools and techniques which one can use. And I guess, Sunita ji, you can figure out by practicing different practices. Having said that, I would like to mention one more thing here, because it is not easy, but because the question which you have asked it requires a lot of things, because it is a big, vast subject in itself. So the whole idea is ki if you take any, there are n number of meditation practices in every, be it our yogic meditation techniques, which comes from Yoga Sutras and Yoga philosophy. There are Taos, and in Chinese, in Thailand, Malaysian, all these techniques, Buddhism, take any religion, take any Japanese, you take any technique, meditation technique, you'll find breath is the one common element factor found in every philosophy, in every technique. So the whole idea is to understand the breath is something which is constant. It is always there, right? So the whole idea is to bring your awareness on your breath. In that case, you can cut yourself off from the past, from the future, and stay in present, because the breath is happening regularly. I hope I could answer some of uh, your query, and because this requires a lot of discussion again. And understanding yoga and practicing yoga is something which we should do it regularly, 24/7, not just on the mat but off the mat as well. So yeah, I just hope that if some of you have been already practicing yoga regularly, lovely, kudos to you. If you have been thinking that I should be getting into yoga abhyas, don't think much and just get into it. Maybe today you can put it as a, just a new start and get it, adopt it. I conduct online sessions. You can just be the part of those sessions regularly. I conduct workshops. You can be the part of that. And not just me, but you will find a lot of people offering a lot of workshops. Find somebody, find something with somebody you can relate to, and just join it. And this is definitely gonna help you a lot in all, like in your holistic well-being, not just your physical, but your mental, spiritual, emotional, everything, I'm sure, because this is what I have experienced. Any more questions from any side?
Kabir, this is Divakar. Can you hear me?
Yes, Divakar, I can clearly hear you.
Man, you are awesome. always you are, love. It's my mother warmth in you. That is every time you proving it, and here is so much dark, but still there is a, because you. I think you are there. Did you hear me?
I could hear some of the thing and not entirely. Now I'm concerned. I'm worried if you guys were able to hear me clearly throughout the
Okay.
session.
What did I say that? Okay. I think I have some network issues due to my
Okay.
local area. So what I said is, here I have so much of darkness since it is in the east side. I'm in Chennai,
Yes.
but still you have a light. So I just say that here is a dark, there is a light because you are there.
Oh. Lovely.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it
trying
is.
to say.
I'm on the western side because Rajasthan is on the western side. So sky is quite clear, and yes, you guys can see that it is. You can access some of the light, and I prefer doing yoga abhyas in an open space. So that's why I'm here under the sky. Because one thing which we should keep in mind, because if when we are doing yoga abhyas, the space should be comfortable and convenient for your body, and just make sure if you can access to some sort of fresh oxygen. If you are in a city, sometimes it can difficult, but if you are fortunate enough to be in a small town or in a village, good, it's good for your lungs, good for your body, good for each and every cell of your body, and that is going to definitely benefit you. Even if you don't do anything consciously and unconsciously, that is going to benefit you. So fresh air, always keep in mind. If you're stressed, do nothing, just breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in fresh air, and that fresh air is gonna help a lot your body, because it will get inside your body and it will purify your blood. It will give that proper oxygenated blood supply to each and every corner of your body, especially to your neurons, and they feel fresh, they feel relaxed, and in result you feel relaxed. All right, any more questions, please?
You're just amazed, man. You're just amazed.
Okay, then shall we bind up the session if anything is not so remaining? If anybody is not willing to share anything, you can also raise your hand, just like, okay. Can we, is it possible for all of us to uh, show our faces, and we hmm, just
I came
yes,
here.
you can put your video on, yes, we can, so that we can see each other, and we can see each other's lovely faces. Yay, lovely, great. I can see two more faces, Devakar and Manju, and now Nanda Kumar also here. Great. How about everybody else? Are you guys feeling shy? Hey, I can see one more face. How about others? How about Gayatri, Usha, Madhumita, Anushya, Sunita, Hariharan? Come out, come out. No need to feel shy. No need to feel, oh my God, people are going to look at me. That's completely all right. Come out. Yes, lovely. Great. How about others? Shall I? Sorry, my camera not working. It's
Sir, hi, sir.
okay. It's okay. Who said hi? Anushya, probably. Usha ji has
Yes,
come.
sir.
Great, lovely.
We are not feeling shy
Yes,
at
please.
all. We are not feeling shy at all. It was dark outside, sir.
Okay, it's okay. Even if
Actually,
it
I'm
is
standing in the
dark,
ground. My house is.
I'll be able to see somebody moving, somebody's head in, even if it is in dark.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, then you can
great.
find me
Yes,
here.
that's great. Sufficient enough.
Okay. Thanks for this. And somebody has put a question in the chat box. I just really wanted to ask you the questions.
Chat, did
Sir,
you
can you
ask
hear me?
anything? I can hear you, but it would be great if
Yeah.
you could type it. If you have a question, please type it down so that I don't miss out on anything. Okay, Manju Ji has asked something. Could you please help us with one specific yoga asana that could control our anger, at least not to lose our temper during this pandemic? Okay, great. one specific
And yeah,
yogasana
I
that
too
would,
have the same question.
uh, okay. So it is uh, controlling our what is anger? Anger is simply an emotion, right? There are n number of emotions which we experience on everyday basis, and the whole idea is, if anything is extreme is wrong, is where we feel our body
Okay, can you? Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Kabir.
I lost I lost the connection in between. So
Okay, that's
I just hope that you are able to hear me. Can you hear me now? Can if you can hear me, can you just put your thumbs up so that
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Okay, great. All right, I'm audible now. Lovely. So anger is nothing else but just an emotion. Like we experience a lot of emotions, be it emotion of love, care, uh, or maybe we feel sad also, we feel angry, we feel happy. There are n number of emotions we experience throughout our life. Whenever we experience, whenever we hit the extreme of any emotion, is when we start losing control from our senses, from ourselves. We go away from ourselves. We lose that connection with ourselves. And that is when it harms us. Be it not just about the anger, but even if we are too happy, it can really disrupt our system. It can disrupt our sensory system also. So that is where yoga comes in. And yoga talks about bringing the balance, be it up or be it down. The whole idea is to stay stable. Sthit pragya. Sthit pragya is a Sanskrit term which is being used in Shastras, that one should not be too happy, as in you don't use your senses and you just go beyond anything and you end up doing anything when you're too happy. And it should not be the opposite as well. That you should not be too sad when something bad happens, and you should not be too happy when something good happens. The whole idea is to keep yourself balanced, stable in your senses. Now, this emotion of anger, right? Where it comes from. Now we are all basically governed by our habits. Whatever we do, if we sleep early, if we wake up early, if we go for jogging, if we don't go for jogging, if we eat too much, if we eat less, if we talk good things, if we don't talk good things, it is all because of our habits. Whatever we do, whatever we think has become our habit, right? So basically we are governed by our habits. Now we need to understand that what are my habits and how do we do that? By self-introspection, by paying close attention to ourselves. And it will require a constant process. It is not a small tonic that I can give you and just you use it, you eat it and swallow it and you become okay, now I'll never get angry. This is not the case. The whole idea is to understand your patterns, your system, your habits, and then that is when you can realize and assess that okay, these are the n number of habits which are beneficial and good for me. Who's gonna justify? Who's gonna decide that? You are the only one who will decide that these are the things, these are the habits which are good for me, which are good for my life, which are good for my system. On the other hand, these are the habits which are very much there within me and are not so good and not helping me a lot and harming me. So we need to work on those habits, and generally anger is one of that thing which end up becoming our habit, and it keeps disturbing our daily routine, our life. So now look at the pattern. Who gets a lot of angry? What could be the reasons of that anger? One needs to identify that. I generally give this example that you must have observed that people who are police force, you'll find, generally we get to hear that police people are very cruel, or they get angry a lot, they beat people, and they are so rude. They are not friendly, basically. This is the general connotation which I'm sharing here. And why is that so? Or somebody who lives in, I'm not stereotyping, but somebody who lives in an area where there is no education, not proper sanitation, those who are poor or lives in slums, they end up generally, feeling things, or this is the general understanding. So why does that happen? What is the environment you are growing in? Understanding that is what is very important, because whatever we do, whatever we speak, whatever we share is what we have accumulated, and whatever we have accumulated is it has come from outside. So the whole idea is, if anger is there, where has it come from, right? What are the areas when you get angry? And in that case, accordingly, one can come up with a strategy that, okay, I need to understand, I need to be more conscious, I need to be more aware when I get angry. Why do I get angry? And you need to understand, first of all, because this is a very simple thing. This is a very simple general thing with all of us. If we find something useful, we keep it. If we find something not so useful, we dump it, right? So if you do it, if whenever you get angry and you become self-aware, okay, I'm getting angry and this is harming me, this is hurting me. So in that case, you need to understand that anger is not helping you, so you need to dump it. So in that particular situation, you need to have that decision. Okay. And I see not just anger, but be it any emotion, if you need to bring the balance in that particular emotion, what all you need to do is to be aware that what is happening, because when we get angry, your body will respond differently, your heartbeat will respond differently, your breath, your respiratory system will respond differently, the blood flowing in your body will respond differently, your mind will go crazy, and a lot of things, a lot of changes will happen in our body. So that is when you need to understand, this is harming me. You need to be aware of that, and you need to calm down by simply focusing on your breath, by simply paying attention to your breath, by knowing that, okay, my breath has become very rapid. When you get angry, your breath will become rapid. It will come in and go out very quickly. And that's not good for your blood pressure. That's not good for your body. You need to just calm down. You need to maybe simply close your eyes. Whenever you get angry, whenever you remember this, what I'm saying, just close your eyes, find a space for yourself. 2 to 3 times. Breathe in, breathe out. Deep breathing. And that is gonna help you to slow down, calm down your entire system. Rest, it can require a lot of intervention at times, provided how often do we get angry, how intense is the problem is, because doctor never gives solutions like anything. They will understand the gravity of that disease first. So how often do you get angry? What are the issues? Accordingly, we can figure out slowly. And I'm sorry that I cannot give just, and all the asanas. But what I can tell you, I cannot give you one asana which can help you in to control your anger. That is very much there, the breathing part, bringing your awareness, breathing part. But when it comes to asanas, how it helps you is, it brings a better understanding of your body. When you practice yoga abhyas, when you do asanas, what happens is you're paying close attention to your body. You get in touch with your body more closely, and that way what happens is you simply know your body better, and you know that when is your body and how is your body responding. So if you know it, you can understand, understand body signals better, and you can treat your body accordingly. So same case with the anger, you can simply, by building your awareness around your body through different postures, you can start living a life wherein you don't get angry more, and you become more aware of your body and of your senses, of your actions, and so you find it helpful. And again, the ultimate essence, that it will help you to connect with yourself. And if you don't get angry, we'll be able to connect with everybody else, and ultimately with the nature. So the whole this dynamic Connect with self, connect with others, and connect with nature. All three combining it together becomes yoga. Any more questions from any side, please? Because it's already, we are approaching 8 o'clock. But if there are any questions, I'd love to share as per my limited capacity and understanding. Has anyone asked anything on chat? Okay, great then. Thank you so much. AHB, team AHB, if you wish to like something at the end, please go and I'm done with all the things for today. Thank you so much for joining from my side.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Shonita.
Thank you very much.
Also, if you'd like to get in touch with me, you can ask Divakar, or you can ask, or you can simply type this Creative Kabir thing on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. Also, you can find me, or through Divakar Team AHB. You can take my contact number as well, and you are free to get in touch with me anytime you feel like. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Love you all. Okay.